Bob Joyce has never asked for fame. He runs a tiny church in Benton, Arkansas, preaches to a few dozen people every Sunday, and refuses to speak to journalists. So why have millions of people across the internet become convinced that this quiet small-town pastor is actually the most famous entertainer who ever lived? Here's the thing. Legitimate voice science cannot definitively prove them wrong. When longtime Elvis devotee Tom Mennel first heard a recording of Bob Joyce singing during a church service, he was 61 years old and had spent over 5 decades studying every vocal nuance Elvis Presley ever recorded. His reaction, according to a 2018 interview with The Express, was immediate and unambiguous. He believed he was hearing the same singer. Mennel isn't a fringe figure. He's a dedicated music follower who staked his credibility on a claim most people would dismiss outright. And yet the videos keep racking up millions of views, with comment sections full of people swearing they recognize something unmistakable in Joyce's voice. The song that really lit the fuse was "How Great Thou Art." Elvis had recorded it for a 1967 gospel album, winning a Grammy and cementing it as one of his signature performances. Opera soprano Kiri Te Kanawa once described the young Elvis as possessing the greatest voice she had ever heard. Tenor Placido Domingo reportedly said it was the one voice he wished he could have had. That caliber of voice, that 3-octave range blending bass, baritone, and tenor, doesn't just duplicate itself. Forensic voice analysis exists precisely because vocal signatures are as biologically unique as fingerprints. When Bob Joyce sang that same hymn from a church pulpit with no professional equipment, the comparison videos that followed genuinely unnerved people who expected to dismiss them easily. Now add in the context surrounding Elvis's actual death, and you start to understand why this theory refuses to die. By 1977, according to well-documented accounts, Elvis was financially trapped. His manager, Colonel Tom Parker, born Andreas van Kuysch in the Netherlands, who allegedly entered the U.S. illegally and never obtained a passport, had negotiated himself up to 50% of Elvis's earnings by 1967. In 1973, it's reported that Parker sold Elvis's entire back catalog to RCA Records for $5.4 million and took half. Elvis would never again collect royalties from Heartbreak Hotel or Hound Dog. After Elvis's death, the Presley estate sued Parker, alleging fraud and mismanagement, and the case settled out of court in 1983. When Elvis was found at Graceland on August 16, 1977, questions emerged that have lingered for decades. A second private autopsy was commissioned by Vernon Presley, and then sealed. The results remain inaccessible to this day, treated as private family medical records under Tennessee law. Reports noted a casket that reportedly weighed around 900 pounds. A National Enquirer photo of the body was later said to have been retouched. His gravestone spelled his middle name differently from his birth certificate. None of these anomalies have been conclusively explained, and none of them alone would fuel a conspiracy, but together, they've kept speculation alive for nearly 50 years. Bob Joyce, for his part, has never attempted to profit from any of this. No publicist, no media appearances, no lawsuits. Just 40 people in folding chairs and a voice that, to some ears, sounds like a ghost. Whether you believe the theory or not, the autopsy documents are reportedly expected to become accessible in August 2027, and the world is watching. If this story made you think, hit like and subscribe so you never miss what we uncover next.